Hey, I wanted to just take a moment and kind of kind of just talk to you guys for a little bit. Just kind of share what's been on my heart and mind lately, and just kind of tell you what's been going on with me. I wrote down some things here, and I wrote this down a few hours ago. So I'm not sure if I'm that same Gabriel from a few hours ago. But basically today I just cooked a little bit of food. I went and bought groceries. After I went and bought groceries, I seasoned some food, some meat, and then I put everything in my refrigerator. Kind of did a lot of chores around the house. And yesterday I went out and just took a day to just kind of relax and just kind of, just do my own things. And so I guess this is where I want to start. I grew up fundamentalist Pentecostal Christian, right? Um, Very old school, traditional way of being in the world, right? We would go to church the majority of the time. And so for the first, I say, at least 25 years of my life, and I'm probably 29 now, right? My daily life consisted of, or a week in my life was going to church 3 to 4 times a week, sometimes more. From there, and I hope you guys can see me. There's the sun here, but I wanted to get the shot. But 3 to 4 times a week, going to church, and after church, we would come home. And so there was only three places where you would really find Gabriel. It would be either at home, at school, or at work. And the thing about it is, when you're a fish in the water, you don't realize the water because you're a fish and you don't even know because that's all you've ever known. And so what's happening is when I decided to leave my religion, I didn't leave God, I left my religion, which for some people that's one and the same, right? When I left, I didn't just lose the religion, but in a lot of ways, I left my community. I left a lot of friends. I even had to outgrow a lot of family dynamics that were interwoven with religion. And so, I'm not like a partier or drinker or anything like that. I've never been, I never was. And so I decided to leave because I just felt like I wanted to live an aligned life. I wanted to live my values. I didn't want to pretend. I didn't want to be superficial. And that's what I decided to do. And it sounds easy for me to say that, but that came with a lot of pain and a lot of trauma and a lot of deep realizations. One of which was coming to terms with how I grew up and how I view and perceive the world. And so when my biological mother passed away, I felt like I had lost something. And religion was no longer a answer for me. That container didn't fit the deep questions that I've had. And I'm not saying that I don't believe in, like in Jesus. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But maybe the container I was in no longer fit the person that I was becoming. And many years ago, I saw a girl. She was actually on the Potter's House. And I think she probably still works there. I don't know. But she talked about how she grew up in this very difficult childhood. And she remembers one day saying to God, God, even if I let go of your hand, please don't ever let go of mine. And so I found myself letting go of God, but it was really the religion I was in. And so now I'm at this point in my life where, and it's not just religion, it's like in all facets of my life, I've had to let go, I've had to get used to letting go of old friendships and dynamics and people. Not because they were bad, but because I had outgrew those containers. And one of the things that feel extremely jarring for me is, going out and doing things for fun, right? Like, remember, I would only go to church, I would only go to school, or I would be at home. On the weekends, there was never this idea of like, oh, let me go to a farmer's market, let me go and do this fun event. It was never that idea. And so now at 29 years old, I've started to incorporate this idea of, doing fun things on the weekend, or going to a farmer's market, or driving out and going out to eat. And for some of you that might be listening, you might be like, well, Gabriel, that's just normal life. That's what people do. And so, but it was never something that I would do. It wasn't the programming that I had received. And so I decided I'm going to start. And I felt two things that I feel like I have to share with you. First, I realized consciously that I'm doing fun things, but I feel weary and tired. And like when I get home, it's like I feel exhausted. And I was like, well, I don't understand, because this is actually fun stuff. But my nervous system, Gabriel himself, wasn't used to doing all those things. I lived like a hermit for the first 25 years of my life. And so the other thing that I feel is guilt. I feel in some ways I feel bad for walking towards life. And what I mean by walking towards life is, getting to know myself through experiences. Because that's the whole point of this, right? Is to do things that you genuinely like, so you can have these experiences, so you can get to know yourself better. And I felt a lot of guilt, because naturally that brings tension with the people around you. Because then they're like, well, what are you? You're always doing something like... And so I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys, because this weekend I had to really just rest and reflect. And I want to give you guys an update on the job. Here's the thing. This job has been an emotional workout for me, because I had so many thought patterns and bad thoughts and programming that was not detrimental, were detrimental for me. And so I've had to every week and every day slowly unwind the old programming that I've had. Like, if I do something wrong, am I going to get in trouble? Oh, nobody likes me. I'm asking these dumb questions, which those things kind of feel superficial, but when you're living through it, it's actually really tough. And so I've had to do a lot of emotional work. You know, the job in itself is neutral, but it's how I perceive and observe the world, right? And so that's been a little tough, you know, but it's one of those things where once you know the truth, once you're on this journey, once you know the truth, it's hard for you to go back. You know, I heard someone say is once you know the truth, it is truly hard to go back because it's like finding treasure and then burying it and not using it. And I hope this really helps you. You know, I felt I want to make this promise to you. And I don't know if anybody will ever see this, really, because it's not going to be formatted, it's not going to have all of these things, but my hope is you know, this is such a nebulous place for me because I'm no longer 100% certain about anything. And I used to be someone that was 100% certain about a lot of things. And so I don't know what the future holds. And I hope my past self, my future self can look back on this video and be like, ah, damn, I knew exactly what I was feeling when I made that video. And so I guess I just wanted to share this with someone, and that someone is you. And so I want you to know that I'm right there with you. I don't know all the answers. I don't know where I'm gonna end up. I don't know how this is gonna look like. I don't know what the future really holds. See, I've always been like a planner, projector, but it's like at this point in my life, I don't know. And it's not like I'm not trying or I'm not working. Like I'm doing everything. I'm putting my hands on everything, doing the best I can. But I really don't know what the future holds. And here's something important. I don't know where my luck is going to come from. And so I remember the founding prime minister of Israel he said, in order to be a realist, you have to believe in miracles, or something to that effect. And so I just want to encourage you today. This video is really for me. Everything I'm saying to you, I'm saying it for me. But Gabriel, I would say to me, what I would say to me and what I would say to you is, Gabriel, don't give up. Things are going to get better. You are going to find your tribal people. You are going to make a great impact. You are going to live your dreams. Those dreams that you haven't even had yet are going to come. You're going to live them. You're going to touch it. You're going to feel it. You're going to enjoy it. So don't give up. When you feel too much pressure, just take it one day at a time. Remember, you're not that powerless kid anymore. You have the mind, you have the heart, and you are worthy. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Love you guys. Let me know what you guys thought. See you.